What's up? What's up? Hello and welcome to another episode of Backwoods Live. This is episode number 45. So I'm so glad you guys could be with me today. We're going to be working on a skateboard as always, but today's going to be a special shape. We're going to be working on this or something very much like it. You can see it right there in the fisheye lens. Maybe just a little bit closer now. And then, of course, my phone is just not working. So I'm going to actually rotate things around and just get rid of that for now. Just so we can have a little face-to-face. Like I was saying, this is episode number 45. We're going to be making something similar to this, except it's not going to have a square tail. It is going to have a not a fish tail, a popsicle, a regular popsicle shape tail, and we're going to be trying to pull 10 inches out of the entire width of this thing, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to try to make it happen. It has been a little bit warmer today. Snow's been melting. Loving to see that. So happy to see the snow disappearing from our sights. So I'm going to try to get this going one more time. It's, of course, just like last time, it was not wanting to work. So we're going to just keep trying to let it ride. And, we're going to get it going. So anyways, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, please let me know in the comments section. I'm going to bring this back up and join you guys to the fray right there. There we go. So now you can see what we're working with here. It is going to be a twin steep is what we are shaping up today. Sorry, guys. Forgot that the camera just doesn't want to do anything. So that's just the way it is. All right, so first order of business, like always, I'm going to sharpen this thing, is to sharpen your pencils. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. It looks like that's a no for me today. Huh, I wonder where it ran off to. Oh, here it is. Didn't run very far at all. Yeah, I don't know. Pretty excited. I'm really happy that it was warm today. Warmer than it has been, anyways. I wouldn't say it was warm by any means, but that's neither here nor there. Done. We'll try it one more time. Hello, Printer 1299. I'm glad you could join me here. Sorry, I was just taking a second. I'm trying to get a multi-stream situation happening here, but my cell phone connection is not wanting to do it. And, well, that's just the way it is. You guys, I have a direct connection with that camera situation, so it's a little easier. But anyways, we're pulling measurements because we're making a custom skateboard here today. It's called the Sawzall shape. It's something you can find on my website if you were to go looking around at Bakwuds.com. And it is quite a unique shape. It is a shin killer, or it could be, if you're not careful, that is. Like I said, we're going to try to make it 10 inches wide at its widest point, and it is also a twin steep that we're shaping up today. Now I'm really hopeful that we can get a full 10 inches out of it. Optimism is going to win this game, but practice tells me I'm probably going to get a little bit less than 10 inches. You subscribe. I appreciate you subscribing. If you have any questions while you're watching the episode or anything, please let me know. I know a little bit about skateboarding, so I'd be happy to share my knowledge with you. Okay, so I have my center point. From my center point, we're setting our wheelbase. You know, I didn't check the wheelbase. Maybe I should check that. That's an important thing to check, is the stats of what you're looking for. So give me just a second here. I'm going to slide into my emails. There we are. Which one is it? That one, I think. 10-inch popsicle tail. Does not say wheelbase. Interesting. I wonder why. Usually it would. So anyways, Very strange, it does not have the wheelbase. So I'm going to go standard. If he happens to be watching, please chime in, let me know if you want a standard wheelbase or not. Otherwise, we are going standard, which is 14.25, in case you were wondering. In my mind, that is standard 14.25. 14 inches, 14 and 1/4 inches to be specific. So that is what I'm marking out here, 7 1/8. Then I come to this side and do, from the same mark, mind you, 7 1/8. 14.25, and just double check that one, 14.25. Perfect. Now, I'm ready to draw some lines in. Camera's still going there. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So like I was saying, it's going to be a custom shape. It's going to be a Sawzall shape. I actually have it right over here on the ground, which I'll bring it up here on the desk so you guys can get an idea of what we're going to be building. Considering I have this fisheye here, he's handsome, thank you. I appreciate that. This is what we're building right here. You can see it on the fisheye lens. It's going to be pretty badass, the shape. Oh, that's a little too far. There we go. See that saw pattern right there? That's what we're looking for. That's what we're going to be shaping up today. Okay, have those marks. Now we're ready for some secondary marks. We have to get our dimensions this way to figure out our width, our center line, so we can figure out how wide we can go on this here skateboard. There we go. Now I'm going to flip it around and do the same thing. It's kind of standard practice. You do the one side, do the other. There we go. Then I just kind of find the center point of those two center points. Now that tells me that that is very dead center of the skateboard right there. You can see it on the fisheye. So now I can draw my lines to connect them, and I have a perfect T right where the trucks are going to go. So it makes it quite easy to do the next step, which is going to be putting the trucks on. As you can see right there, just like every other board we do, we have to get those lines set up. Now we're ready to put some trucks on this thing, or truck holes, I should say. So we're going to slide over here, and I'm going to actually get rid of that camera right there, because we're going to be using, if I can get these blankets to work with me. It's never the way you want it to work, does it? There we go. Just not wanting to work with me today. So anyways, we're going to get some holes put into this thing. I'll spin this around also. That way you can see what I have happening over here. Just a little bit better. Anyways. Oh wait, it doesn't matter. That one's been turned off. Okay. So before I can put some holes in this thing, I need to mark out where those holes are going to go. So I do it very precisely, very strategically with this thing right here. Very fancy, yes, I know. I made it. I'm very proud of it. I use it on every board I've made. Pretty much every board I've made, I think. Too far. Too far. There we are. Here I am. So we're getting ready to put some bolt holes in this thing. I got to figure out this camera situation though. This angle's not working for me when I have that temperature controlling blanket up. It's just not helping the situation. There we go. Okay, I'll flip this thing around and do the same thing for the other side. Like I said before, we're making this a very standard wheelbase of 14.25. You could go up to 15.5 on boards I make currently. I'm hoping I can get up higher soon, but we'll see how that road turns out. Okay, now we are ready to do it. So I'm going to actually try to scoot this camera back one more time because I have an idea if I can get this stuff to cooperate with me. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then we can have the camera like that. So, as we've done before, we're going to be putting some holes in this thing, so just bear with me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything I'm doing, talking about, or otherwise, please let me know in the comments section. So yeah, we're going to do this now. Right about there somewhere, I think. No, a little off. I apologize if I'm getting in the way of the shot. I try not to, but I've got to hold this thing steady, so kind of one or the other, really. So one of them down. Make sure I get this thing very precise. I don't want to be off with this. If I get off just a little bit, well, it's not going to work out very nicely. Okay. Right about there. Okay. That's halfway. Now I got four more to go, actually. There we go. Like I said, you got to be very precise with this. You don't want to mess this part up. That would be bad to mess that part up. Whoa, okay. So that's what we just did. Put some holes in there. So I did actually bring out my drill. So I will go ahead and hit these like I have been doing before. Which you're not going to be able to see that, are you? I'm over here. There we go. So this is just to refine the holes a little bit. I'm using the same drill bit size as, oh wow, the battery just does not like the cold, does it? Same drill bit size as on the big drill here. But I'm just trying to clean them up, make them look nice. Save me down the road. Damn, why does it keep, this is a brand new drill. Can you believe this? If this thing is, no way. There's no way I killed this thing already. It's gotta be because it's cold. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it is a cheaper drill, but it should work, right? I mean, it's just tapping up a few holes. Okay, now we're gonna test what we did, see how we did. Looks good. Looks like that lines up. Let's flip it around. Test this side. And everything looks good. I did not, you know what? Just realized I did not record on that camera. Yep, everything looks good. Okay. So we're ready to slide back over to our main station, and we're gonna start drawing up a shape onto this board and see what we come up with. So, slide you guys back over here, get a nice angle there, put that back, we're good there. Need to flip this around, bring that back. and actually press record because I didn't record the first time. So go figure, right? That was probably not smart of me. But now I'm recording, so now I should be able to see. Like I was saying before, we're trying to copy this one right here, and we're going to do our best to make it happen. It's going to be very similar to that, I should say. It's not going to be quite identical. It's not going to have a squared tail on it. It's going to have a more rounded tail, a more popsicle tail. So I think our best bet, because it is such a complex shape, is to give it a little trace out here to see where we're at. Now I know the measurements are off just a little bit, but also I need it to be the full width of a 10-inch. So actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to put my 10-inch marks on this thing first. So there's 5-inch and spin around 5-inch. Now let's get the other side. Same situation. 5-inch. This is right at the edge of where the possible width I could make on this thing. Right at the edge of what I could do here. 10 inches. Yep, that's good. Now I'm ready for this next step, which is to get this as close to the 10-inch mark as I can without being too dramatically off. Now the question is going to be, let's see, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it right here at first because I can't go beyond the top line of the deck. That won't be very helpful if I did that. So I need to line that up a little bit. So I have actually some guide marks here that I may be able to use to my advantage. Yeah, I think I can. So that's going to be my start point. Right about there. And I apologize if a lot of this is not making sense. I'm just trying to line this up as best I can just to make my job just a little easier as I keep going along with this particular shape, because it is such a complex shape to draw out and to shape out. I've really got to take my time to make sure I do it right. I'm just drawing in some rough sketches right now. Nothing is going to be real permanent here. It's just giving me some ideas to work with. Now I can flip it around and do the same on the other side. Because this is a twin shape, it does not matter as much which side is the front and which side is the back, if that makes sense to you. So I have that curved up just about 1/8 of an inch from there, right about there. And because I am kind of playing around with these numbers and angles and everything, it will pretty much be a different shape. In my mind, I'm making a different shape by utilizing this initial shape. There we go, that's about right. Something about like that. So it's going to be similar, but not quite exactly the same. And that's kind of what I enjoy about this whole process, is that no matter what you do, you can make them just a little bit different if you want, or you can make them exactly the same. So maybe you can see that on the fisheye lens there. Those lines that we've created. There we go, right there. Board's still a little dirty. I probably should have wiped it down a little bit better. Maybe wiped it down just a little better. Okay. Now, we are ready to keep going. I have to double check all my measurements because, like I said, I'm not entirely sure if they are correct. So, this should be 3-inch, which it is. This should be 5-inch, which it is. And this, I think that's supposed to be 9-inch, but it's showing 9 1/8. So we're going to stick with 9 1/8 until I see what the other side shows. So this one needs a little modification. This one looks good. And see, this is showing at 9 inch. So now I'm going to go back and modify this one to show at 9 inch as well. And that is just giving me some semblance of evenness on both sides. I'll have to modify these curves, obviously, just a hair to make everything fit. Same with this one, particularly right here was a little problematic. So I can just stop it right there, erase that, because I don't need that anymore. And something like that. Now, those look pretty good. Need to make sure my points are actually pointed. That's kind of important. Now I just need to see if I have a straight line between the lower valleys of this curved shape, which it looks like I do. I'm just drawing a straight line here just to make sure. It looks beautiful. Let me show you what I did. It kind of looks like a bridge right now, what I just did. You can kind of see it right there, just a little bit right there. Maybe, maybe not. Now I'm going to do the same for the other side. Just basically connecting all the lower portions. This is just a reference line. This means nothing in my final shaping. It's just to make sure that I am on the right track. And that also tells me at its, widest point at the skinniest valley of that point, we're looking at, it's a little bit less. It's about 4 5/8. 4 5/8 from the center. So in total 9 inches, 9 1/8. So that's not quite the 10 inches he was looking for. But at the very most points, we are at our 10 inches. So that means we're at what, 3/8 or so of curve. So I'm gonna continue drawing out this shape, but I'll have to check with the customer to see if this is going to be okay with them. So at 10 inches wide, we're going to have a popsicle tail. So this is going to be interesting. So we need a big old popsicle, which I have one right here. One that I have just hanging around for this purpose. There we go. Now what I can do is move my stuff out the way. And again, any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know in the comments section. I'd be happy to answer them. I'm going to also copy just a little bit of this, just about that much of it. Now I need to slide it over here to just actually not the 10-inch mark. I'm actually at my mark that was 9 7/8. And I'm just connecting those lines. And now I'm going to do the same on this side. I'm going to rotate it. Make it a little easier for me. There we go. Something like about that. Again, I'm not trying to be too fancy with what I'm doing right now. It doesn't have to be very precise. I'm just getting a basic outline for what I'm looking for. Hey, yo, how much for a free pot? A free pot? For a pot? I don't know what you mean about a pot, bruh. Let me know what you're looking for. I'll help you out. I hope I could. So the other side is not going to be a popsicle. The other side is going to be a little bit different. So that is a big old popsicle tail. Can you see that on the fisheye lens? Or maybe you mean a popsicle? So our skateboards are $45, if that's what you're asking. Hopefully that's maybe what you're looking for. How much is a popsicle? A popsicle skateboard? They're $45, and I custom make all of them. I need to make skateboarding affordable because skateboarding is too damn expensive. So that is my contribution to the world, making $45 custom skateboards. Because why not? Because why not? Who the hell else is? Nobody that I know of. So this is a big wide tail in case you couldn't tell. This thing is massive. Let me see here. Oh gosh, we are looking at 7 3/4 of an inch long. That is long, long, long. That's really long. And then at the small apex here is like 9 inches when you put it like 3 inches out. Good grief. That's ridiculous. That's huge. Huge, I tell you. So we're going to actually take our original shape here and we're going to borrow some nose portions for what we're about to do next. Now luckily I can just line this thing up and just kind of sketch in what I'm looking for. So now for our nose, the customer requested a rounded square nose, if that makes sense. So it's going to be very similar to this one that we are copying, but I'm going to make it just a little less rounded and see if he likes that. Something like that. There we go. Okay. So this one that I just set down kind of had some hard edges where it crosses over. I'm going to kind of round this one out just a little differently. So I don't want those sharp angles on it. I want something a little more mellow. So maybe you can see that there on the camera. What I'm going for. Which is not bad. That doesn't look like a nose though. That looks more like a tail to me. So I'm going to have to see what he thinks. Because I feel like that's going to need to be wider or the popsicle is going to need to be smaller. Is that our, let's see here. When you pull it 3 inches out, that is still actually about 9 inches. So it's almost the same. It's just from here up that changes. So that makes it a little funky. A little funky. I think I need to go wider. So I'm just going to kind of guesstimate here. Something like that. Just kind of adding some extra bit here. See if that's going to make it look right. That actually does help. So we do the same for the other side. This is kind of what I like to do. I like to modify these things on the fly if I need to. Instead of sticking with a standardized shape that everybody has, everybody's ridden, I'm making something fresh that nobody has ridden. And only one person, to my knowledge, will have it. A little wider there. I need to add some heft. Some heft to that side, just like that. That's pretty good. I don't know. That's pretty good. We're going to add a little heft to this side right about here. Yeah, that's not bad. This is my favorite part, is drawing in these lines, making this thing come to life. So, what do you guys think? Let me turn this camera down a little bit, let you see it a little bit closer. I'll just do that. I don't know if you can see that very well, honestly. I just don't think so. So let's try this. This is what we're looking at right there. So I'm still working on it, still figuring it out. But so far, this is a badass looking shape. Pretty impressed by it. It's a big boy. It's a big skateboard, let me tell you. Big as skateboard. So I'm going to try to get this live on my phone here going one more time just for fun. Just because And, you know, just because I want to share my experience with everybody. Still recording. Good. Everything's still recording. Everything still seems good. It's not going to work though. Oh, maybe it will. We're going to try it. We'll try it. They're a little late to the party now. Oh, maybe. It's like off, on, off, on. Anyways, if you're here, welcome to the party. This is episode 45. I appreciate you guys joining me. It's been a terrible episode, just awful. So I'm so glad that you guys could be here to witness it. So this is what we've drawn up. Nice little skateboard shape. It's pretty fantastic, I think. I'm just finalizing what I'm doing here, and I think I like what I have. All my measurements are the same, more or less. I just want to darken this up so I can really get a good idea of what I'm looking for. Now I want these points to be nice and pointy, so that's very important to do. Pointy, important. Very important to me. There we go. Nice and dark. All the way around this thing. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. I would be happy to try and answer it. I will do the best I can to answer any question that you may have. Get that off of there, whatever that was. My attempt is to make this thing as even as possible. Very difficult given this particular shape. Very time-consuming shape, if I do say so myself. But totally worth it because this shape is really stellar. A stellar shape. Okay, so that's more or less my terrible sketch at what we're looking at here. That's what we're looking at, in case you were curious. So I think it looks pretty good, but like I said, I'm going to have to talk to the eventual end customer to see if this is something that he's going to be wanting for this particular shape. He did say a rounded square nose and then a popsicle tail. So I think I have hit that on the head. However, if this is the tail, in my mind, it should probably be smaller than the nose is. Now that's just my idea. Let me know what you think about that. If you agree with me, please let me know. If you don't, I'd like to know what you think about that also. I'd like to know why you think it should not, or why you think it should, or why the sky is blue. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So that's what we have. I'm not sure what to do next. I just don't know. I do think I should make it a little bit smaller before we go, though. I think that would be prudent. I think it would probably be a good idea. So I'm just going to shrink that down, and all I'm going to do for that, it's nothing fancy that I do here. The phone gave out again. Nothing fancy. I'm not sure that that's even, honestly. So, no, that looks pretty even. What do you guys think? Can you tell on the fisheye? I know that it's a little hard given the nature of that lens, but what I'm going to try to do here is just take off a little bit. Now I got to figure out where from that point I need to stop that. Right about there. So that should be about the same height, more or less. Now from here, I've got to meld that back into our original lines there. So how? I know how I want to do that. I'm actually going to make this wider like this. Like that somewhere. I'm kind of splitting the difference, honestly, between the two. because I don't want to lose too much of that girth and have it be oddly skinny. That would probably be bad, to have an oddly skinny nose. So, let's spin this around. There we go, something like that. So now, we're going to actually be avoiding, and you can ignore that top line. That top line means nothing now, because we're going for the bottom. It's not bad. It's not bad. It needs a little refining. It needs just a little refining. Let me know what you guys think. You got any questions, concerns? If you think it sucks, let me know. Am I totally off base here? But I think it needs just a little TLC here and there. Like, it's hard to say. Sometimes it's easier to notice these things after you've cut it. But after you've cut it, it could also be too late. So that is too much in. So that needs more on this side right here. We need to add right there. That's what we want, right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And even if I did at this point just cut the outer line and sanded up to the inner line, would be just fine. So that looks pretty good. I like where we're sitting with that. We have changed our overall shape of it just a little bit. So now we are actually at 7 1/4 instead of 7 3/4, which is a lot better. A lot better, a lot more manageable. It's not going to be too girthy of a nose or a tail. And this one is about the same, 7 1/4. So as far as a twin mold and a twin base, works perfect and it looks great. So at this point, we are just about ready to cut. But like I said, I was hoping he would chime in on this episode, and he would have a few words for us on the shape and what he thinks about it. But he was probably busy today, didn't see this happening. So I'll just have to shoot him an email or something and see where we stand from that. And then we can, at the end of the week, we'll be able to finish this thing up. Yeah, that really narrows it up. That looks really nice. I'm really liking what I see right here. So let me know what you guys think. This is what we've just created. I think it has turned out pretty spectacularly. I'll read off these stats here in just a minute. Just wanted to give it a good show one more time with the fisheye lens. Oh, and it stopped recording anyways. Well, and that just a c'est la vie moment. Just a c'est la vie moment. There we go. Okay. So, I appreciate you guys joining me on today's episode of Bakwuds Live. This is what we just made today. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to cut it out just yet. We're going to have to wait just a little bit to see what the customer is going to want to do as far as the final shape of this thing. It is a pretty badass shape, and it's a very aggressive type of shape. It's going to definitely ruin some ankles or some shins. Somebody's getting hurt. I'm almost certain of it. But I think it's going to be a great ride either way. So anyways, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. I'll be happy to email you or answer any questions that you may have. Otherwise, I do appreciate you guys joining me on today's episode. And we're going to cut it short and take it easy. Yeah, that's good. Finish with that one too. Okay.